The biggest lie in classroom management is that rewards improve behavior in your classroom. The truth is that rewards are an absolute disaster, and one of the reasons why education is failing currently and has been for a long time. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go over what rewards actually do, the message they actually send to students. We're going to talk about why teachers continue to use them and why so many other approaches to classroom management recommend that you use them. And then finally, we're going to talk about what to do instead that is far, far more effective, even effortlessly more effective. Okay, before we get there, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Okay, so the first thing that rewards do in your classroom is that they send the message to your students that good behavior is work. It's work. It's hard to do. It doesn't have value in its own right. And so, otherwise, why would you offer to pay them to behave this way? And so what this does is that it very effectively eliminates the intrinsic motivation to behave in your classroom. You want every bit of the message that students receive when they enter your classroom that learning is valuable in and of itself. Being kind to others is valuable by itself. It has intrinsic value. It feels good. It feels good to be kind to people, and it feels good to receive kindness. It feels good to work hard and learn, and we feel better about ourselves. When we pay students for doing those things, if we tell them that if you're nice, if you behave, if you don't interrupt, make fun, and bully other students, we're going to pay you, then you're essentially telling them that this is work. It's a burden. It's hard to do these things. This is a terrible message that we send to students that they've been getting year after year after year. The other thing that this does is that it creates a sense of entitlement. A sense of entitlement. So when you offer to pay them or reward them in exchange for something, they're always going to believe that, okay, I did this, what do I get? What do I get for this? That everything positive they do, they feel like they need to get something in return because they don't feel any intrinsic value in it. They've lost that ability, that intrinsic, their internal motivational engines have been shut off through all of these rewards. Rewards also, and if you've been using them, you know this, they're incredibly stressful for teachers because they don't work after a while. You need to constantly up the ante. So rewards lead to more and more. So you need to give more rewards. You need to have a reward at the end of every day, at the end of every period. You need to be giving out tokens and tickets in order to exchange in the prize box. You have to constantly give kind of certificates for this and for that. And students demand it, and then they get bored with your prize box. They get bored with the free time. They want something else and something more, and this is just human nature. The last thing is that it's a cold-hearted exchange, which if we really look at it and we're honest with each other, it is downright bribery. You are bribing students. It is a manipulative tactic. You're using the rewards to get something from the students. And what it does is it turns your relationship into a transaction. This is why there are students in every classroom who have a really strong sense of their internal motivations, very strong sense of self and self-worth. And when you give them certificates and rewards and you make a big deal about their A grade, you can see they're crestfallen because you're trying to put a price tag on what they know and feel is priceless, and they don't like it. And we want all of our students to feel this way, to be self-motivated. And what we're doing is we're removing it. We're making it much more difficult for them to be this way. These are students who, when they arrive in kindergarten, a lot of them have this naturally. It comes naturally to us as human beings, and we just snuff it right out of them year after year of all of these rewards. So, why do teachers do it though? Why is it that this is done all the time? Why does PBIS and all these other approaches say, well, it's research-based? Well, the truth is the research does show that when you ask a student to do something, when you ask them to, let's say, hey, would you mind fixing up the library and I'll give you X? When you ask them to do something in exchange, they're more likely to do it. But the research also says that what it does is that it lessens their own motivation for doing it because they want to do it. Again, for all the reasons that we've said here. And so when you as a teacher, especially as a new teacher, you do it and it works like magic and you're like, this is it. I'm going to do a token economy. But then again, you're just destroying the intrinsic motivation. Their teachers are doing this year after year after year after year. And it does keep a lid on the classroom, but there's so much more, so much better, so much greater potential in students. So again, the why is that it is temporary. It is a temporary moment-to-moment fix. And these difficult students, the most challenging students, especially who we put in these behavior contracts, we are ruining them. These are kids who their intrinsic motivation is dormant. I mean, it's just dead inside. So what do we do instead? Instead, we remove all of this stuff because it's sending the absolute opposite message that we want. And what we do instead is that we create a classroom students love being part of. This is the first of two of the very top principles of smart classroom management. We are based entirely on two things at the top, and everything sort of flows from there. We have a second set of principles, and then it flows down to individual strategies that support it all. One of them is we're creating a classroom students love coming to every day. That's principle number one. And number two is we hold them strictly accountable for behavior that is required for success in school. So these two together are at the very, very top. And so we don't want to do anything like this that's going to ruin that. It's going to interfere with that. And this doesn't take long. The beginning of the school year, this can take just a day even. Now, these are things we're going to talk a lot about in the future, including what to do on the first day of school to sort of jumpstart this. We're going to also talk a lot about things to do in your classroom that students love intrinsically. It's also so much greater joy to teach this way. As a teacher, you don't feel like you're manipulating students or anything like this. It feels amazing, and students love being in a class like this, and the motivation skyrockets. So again, we're going to talk more about this in the future. As always, please subscribe, and I'd love to hear your comments below. In the meantime, hope you're having a great week. I'll see you next time.